Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of the Rewatch Podcast, presented by the Terrible Video Gamers Club. I'm your host, Tyler Schatz, enjoying NOS for the second time here on a podcast. And it's still just as bad as the first time. Oh, God.
It's bad. It's not good.
Bad.
Sponsored by NOS.
Cha-ching. Joining me
Never
on
gonna
this
get a sponsorship.
We're never going to get our sponsorship. Corona doesn't want us. NOS doesn't want us. Joining me, though, for this fine recording session is one Stephen Howard.
Who has since forgotten his intro line. And I came up with like 3 of them. Like in between the last time we did this and this time, I came up with 3 and I have forgotten them all. So here to say that I am not drinking a NOS.
Amanda Howard is here as well.
I'm noticing actually a similarity between some characters in our TV shows and our friends here on this recording that apparently also are gluttons for punishment by doing the same things over and over again that didn't work out the first time.
One JC, Josh Cox.
Who, like Steven, forgot the intro, but happy to be here with this glitch in the Matrix.
One Nick Castillo here is also here as well.
He's getting drunk.
Drunk on power.
Drunk on power. Just waiting for Tyler to buy me another 10-second car.
And last, but certainly never least, one Gary Delaney.
Who will accept product sponsorship from NOS. First time trying it. Enjoy it quite a bit. Give me a call. Anyway, also, I understand I have an interesting taste in music, but this process has made me realize that I can never trust Tyler's movie reviews based on the disrespect he's shown Too Fast and Too Furious.
I'll happily accept that award as well, too.
And I will happily accept sponsorship. NOS. It tastes pineapple-y and good, and it makes me go vroom, vroom.
It does not taste pineapple-y.
I am less inclined to purchase NOS now. Thank you.
Can I just have... Yes, I want the video clip.
Makes me go vroom vroom.
Yes, I just want the little recording clip of makes you go vroom vroom.
Every one of his questions is going to end with some positive note about NOS.
What? I not only have regular NOS, I also have grape NOS. Stay tuned for my review of grape NOS.
Gary's not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, right. I'm waiting for who's your favorite character? Much like NOS.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious wrap up. Vroom vroom.
So, dear listener, if you can't tell from our jokes at the beginning here, we are actually taking a second crack at recording this podcast here. The first one apparently was recorded with errors on my part. So we are now trying to double record this to hopefully not have that happen again.
I mean, to your credit, you said errors, but really, it was probably just one error. We couldn't really tell anything beyond that. So, yeah.
Yeah, the one error was that you didn't do it, but that's fine.
Zero audio occurred.
It recorded for 2.5 hours, but there was no audio to it.
Like when you first let us know, I didn't read the message. I didn't go into it because I'd see the preview and I was like, maybe if I just don't click it, he'll come back and say he actually had an error in reading it and it's fine.
Oh, wait, whoops, I had my audio turned down. It's fine.
Tyler has said before, the lost episode. We have another lost episode. And he was like, whoops, I found the second lost episode. And I was like, yeah, cross my fingers. We're going to re-find last episode number 3.
Like an archaeology hunt. Sometimes, you just gets discovered. It's part of the lore.
Well, and to be entirely fair to Tyler as well, he is the one who edits, records, does all of the work.
Stars in.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had no backups. It wasn't his fault. There's always going to be the chance of something happening. So we have taken precautions. There are now CIA agents listening in, and they will record everything we say.
Yeah, but they could have given us
upon
backup.
redundancy.
They could have given us the backup the first time. So what good are they?
I'll reach out to my FBI guy next time.
There you go.
He could have made sure He could have made sure it accidentally showed up in your inbox or something, but no.
Like when you get those Skyrim requests where you have to put something in somebody's pocket. And it's just
Exactly.
whoops.
Oh, you know what?
Here's this
Maybe
for
that's
you.
where the
Reverse pickpocketing.
maybe that's where the rediscovered episodes came from before. They've already done it and they've met their quota of like, hey, we can only help you so many
I
times.
guess, yeah.
Oh no.
What were you gonna say, Nick?
It's on par with the missing minutes from the Watergate tapes and like who actually killed JFK, and then that small group of people who did that podcast about that movie franchise 15 years after it was released.
Yes. All right, so we are going to just kind of get started here, firing through our questions that we've come up with, just like in our previous rewatch. Closing
Just purely off the
episodes.
cuff responses. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't remember what my answers were to the last ones anyway. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
because it's also
complicated.
been just due to life circumstances, we lost the recording. But it's not like the next day we hopped in the booth. No, it's been what 2 months something. I guess August 8th was when we last listened to the
Did
questions.
I have a kid when we recorded the final?
No, I don't think you did. You
No,
now have a
you
kid.
did. You did.
You did?
Check
even know your
check your
baby mama.
keychain. Check your keychain. See the date, and then
Can't read it. He doesn't know the time.
Shortly after. I think it was after I got out of the hospital.
August
Yeah.
8th is when we were recording it. Yeah, we tried the first time.
Yeah.
But here we are.
I think I was
Okay.
still unemployed
Yeah.
at that point, so maybe that was why it worked.
late September. Yeah.
I was
Getting
gonna
around
make
to
a comment
September.
about Gary not
I am
knowing
currently
the
watching the Packers play
birthday.
the Cowboys, so that's the time date.
That's
Timestamp
the
right
time
there.
Depends on which game they could be. We could be watching though. You could be watching an old one, a new one,
what year,
current
Steven?
one. Yeah.
Is this the future? You don't know.
Could be. You
Blew
never
your
know.
mind. Anyways, let's
What?
get this started here.
According
I'm
to
gonna
the
kick us
future.
off with question 1 here. From our rewatch of the first 7 movies, or sometimes our first watch for some of us, who was your favorite character in the series? And I think I'll just kind of kick it off to give everyone a little bit of chance to think there. Put a cut in front of Gary. My favorite character, I think probably through the whole rewatch series, was Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor. He just kind of like for the most part, a straight man character. Granted, everyone towards the end develops superpowers or an immunity to damage or flipping cars and walking away from it and everything like that. But I just kind of like the growth of Brian's character throughout the entire series there. Gary.
I like Roman because he's funny and he everyone else takes shit too seriously, and he just brings some levity to like what is the absurdity of this. Like, and several times, like, he's the only straight man of like, oh, you just jumped a tank. Like, that was weird. Whatever. Steven?
So I'm gonna pull the easy card, and I'm gonna say my favorite character was Han throughout the series, because Han's just cool. He's a cool character. He's a cool dude. He plays his character cool, and he has the kind of the subtle acting. He's not over the top kind of like Roman is. I'm sorry, Gary. Roman is
Are
very
you
over the
implying
top.
I'm not subtle?
Dom is it's also it's a good point. Dom is also very what's-it-called? Over the top. So I like that subtleness. But if I was to actually like say not even over the entire course of the series, but my favorite character that I'd want to see again 100% is Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody was fun. Mr. Nobody made the 7th movie. I really enjoyed Mr. Nobody. Who's to say that if he had been in more movies, and I have not seen past 7, but who's to say if he were in more movies that his character wouldn't have gone down as they wrote him more poorly. But for the one he was in, absolute bombshell.
I'd jump in next. Just to be anti-Tyler, I'll have to say that Brian Spillman, is that his name?
Well, that's the undercover
Buster.
name. Brian Spillman's
Undercover
the undercover name.
Like a serial killer, Brian Earl Spillman.
Nick's just been making it up. He hasn't seen past the first movie.
I like Tom. Tom, I thought was a really nice character. like the book report, they didn't read.
Right.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Tej as my favorite character throughout. I was trying to remember what I said originally, but I think I went with Tej. I think I highlighted how, like, a shout out to my good friend Mr. Gary. He starts off in the best one, number 2, where he's introduced, and he's very off the wall and crazy because he's got this giant afro, and it's like he's just the guy who organizes stuff or whatever his line is that he says. But like by the end, he can like hack the God's Eye and all sorts of ridiculous tech that's far beyond any mortal person. But he adds a little bit of the brevity that I think Gary mentioned keeps everything light despite the ridiculousness of these movies. But also he has enough seriousness that he's like, all right, I'm down. I'm the guy in the chair, and just like can help get the team whatever they need. So I think that he's got a little bit of fun, a little bit of play, but also helps keep the plot going. Otherwise, at one point, until we're introduced to, I just spaced her name, the gal from the God's Eye. Whatever her name is.
Oh goodness.
Oh no.
Sande.
Domino.
No.
Until we're introduced to her.
Ramsey.
Thank you, Ramsey.
Oh,
Points
sure.
to Gryffindor. Until we're introduced to her, like, you need someone to help get the plot through of, like, how are we supposed to stop the drone flying through the tunnel and all sorts of ridiculousness. So, yeah. Good stuff there.
I'd follow up with basically parroting Steven. Yeah, throughout the series, once you get to Tokyo Drift, Han is amazing, and he keeps being amazing throughout the rest of the series for me. Just stands out, kind of like he mentioned, the subtlety, especially as everybody gets ridiculously over the top. He's kind of the one that actually feels the most real still in terms of just going along with things. Just, he plays it so cool that can't be too bothered by any of the ridiculousness going on. Mr. Nobody is also really great for where he's at and everything, but it's also, as I've thought about it more time, it might be one of those things that less that he's able to be ruined by the later movies, but it's more just like a symptom of how ridiculous everything else is, that you can just have a character who basically is nothing except just stereotypes of cool guy things, and it's like, oh hey, he's the best part of this movie. He's a refreshing change, but he's still very fun for that movie.
I would have to follow up Tyler and say Paul Walker. I think I had it more thought out the first time we did this, but I just enjoyed his character most. I think you guys had some great suggestions, because what I liked most about this is how many different characters there were. You actually did get a lot of character backstories fleshed out a little more. Depending on the movie, I'll grant you that. But I just enjoyed watching Paul Walker's character. I'm going to give a shout out to The Rock, because even back then, I think he was a little newer to acting, but I actually really enjoyed him, even with the more ridiculous things that he would say or do.
I'll just jump in real quick there and say, at least The Rock had the rock body to kind of back up those absolutely ridiculous things.
I won't get over The Rock and Dom fighting like it was supposed to be some kind of a fair fight. Like, no offense, if you put Dom with somebody else, that would be like, oh, okay. But The Rock.
We'll get to that.
Maybe if he wasn't so recognizably The Rock.
What are we pitching this over to JC for question 2?
All right. Following on from that, who is your least favorite character in the series? I could start it off as well. I had, throughout the podcast, kind of mentioned that Roman was not necessarily a standout for me, but I will say he does earn points for me, kind of as Gary mentioned, with the levity that he does add. As things are getting more and more bananas throughout the series in 6 and 7, he actually does kind of bring enough. He's the only person who actually has some common sense, and whenever it comes to planning some of these things, that, yeah, this is absolutely stupid. What are we even doing here? So I will give him credit for that. There are some good moments that he actually adds there. And then, of course, he undercuts it with things like just ogling Ramsey and things like that, where it's like, all right, well, he's still Roman. Otherwise, my least favorite character in the series is going to have to be Dom by the time we get to 7, where he doesn't start from a great place, being the quote unquote anti-hero without just potentially being the actual villain / antagonist of the first movie, and then just kind of becomes such a bizarre, overpowered beast in the later movies that it brings the whole series down. It's no longer about cars. It's literally about Dom being completely Superman, and yeah, brings it down for me. Okay.
Dom sucks, but the I just have written down the asshat protagonist from the third movie. I don't remember his name. I didn't remember his name when we first did this podcast.
Lucas Black.
Dean Boswell.
He
Sean
means
Boswell.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Yep.
Sean. Yeah,
Sean
Sean.
Boswell.
I just thought he wasn't a likable character. I think he show up in what we've seen again. Like he shows up like, oh yeah,
Yes.
here's an explanation of this really wackadoo fucking timeline that you obviously were shoehorned into, because the only thing that actually connected this movie was that Dom was in the last 5 seconds. And now we've made a whole cinematic timeline. Oh, and Han's in other movies, but yeah, like without 3, this, like, if you could have somehow jumped from 2 to 4, like, I think you could have been better. And Han and the two, I also forgot about the two ass clowns brothers, whatever. They also suck.
Oh yeah.
But you
Irritation
just
of
skip
them.
3, and
This is
you just skip 3 and go to 4, and then be like, yes, we've gotten out of the hill of this whole show. Tyler?
I would probably echo what JC kind of said about Dom there. Like, as we kind of discussed more and more of this podcast, it was just kind of like, yeah, he goes from being this like late or early 2000s, late 90s anti-hero, cool guy, to all of a sudden, like, these movies about family are just more and more him just being a superhero type character who's not supposed to actually be like a superhero, unless maybe off screen he got injected with like the super soldier serum or something like that to become what he does. But it's just like, as the movies kind of go on more and more, and then also too as you learn a little bit more and more about what's going on behind the scenes with the films, Dom's character really starts to go on a downward trajectory for my liking of him. Steven?
I will echo Dom as well. That Dom for me is a parody of. I would expect to see him in a scary movie. He's so kind of over the top towards the end of the series, and they even have that one moment in 7 where it goes, "Well, you're obviously the alpha." Like, oh, I wonder who wrote that line.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's absolutely ridiculous. And not only that, but you're doing. We're saying superhuman feats. They're cartoon feats at this point, really. It's I don't know. You could have created him as a good character. He could have become even kind of a sage character, shall we say? But apparently, we just didn't want to do that, and we just wanted them raise old glory and keep going. And it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. So definitely my least favorite character.
I don't remember who I said the first time, because I know I was kind of going back and forth between 2 different people, but one of them is a villain, so I'll save them because I feel like that's a special category. We're not supposed to like the villains, really. But I will echo Gary a bit and say Sean was from Tokyo Drift, right?
Yep.
I think I can see Steven's face. I knew I was going to get a face
Hate for Sean.
for that.
The hate for Sean
like,
is from nowhere.
Maybe if we had had a few more movies for me to kind of bond with him. But, I mean, I feel like he was supposed to be the Paul Walker in that scene, and Paul Walker I liked from the beginning. So Sean just irritated me with things where I was like, you're being a dumbass. Like, what are you doing?
So
And
obviously,
maybe... Go
I was
ahead.
going to ask if anyone, like, because Steven's already pissed. Did anyone actually like the 2 ass clowns? I've mentioned the ass clowns.
Okay, you keep saying ass clown for every character that you don't like. Are you talking about the Tweedledee and Tweedledum as you kept referring to them?
Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I couldn't remember what I gave him a name before. Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I mean, like, I don't outwardly hate them like you apparently do. They're just characters in the movie that I'm just like, they're there for this certain
Support.
comic relief support there, and that's about it.
The only reason
I
I didn't
like
mention them
that.
as the least favorite character is because I did not remember them. So
They phase out. They're not even towards the end of the like. What's the last movie they're in? Is it the heist movie?
No, they're in the.
the
They
very
come back
opening of
in the
6?
second
Fifth
movie.
one.
They're all,
Aren't
from
they in
what
the
we've
fifth one?
watched, they're only in 5.
4, they're introduced.
Yeah, they're introduced in 4 in the oil tanker scene,
Oil tanker scene in the
and
beginning.
then in 5 they're there, and then that's the last we see of them of our watch that we've done.
Like
Well,
they
so
are
they're twice.
in the movies, and I'm putting that in quotation marks. They're not really there all that much, and that's like Sean too. Like, sure, you can overall hate him, but he was in 1.1.
He was a
movie.
main character of that one movie, so
Yeah,
I
I would-
mean that's
I would say
kind
That's
of a
fair.
big thing
That's
for
fair.
me. But I do like that Gary didn't know what he was thinking, but Tyler's able to translate Gary, so we're good.
Oh, that's the first
It's-
sign of a slippery slope.
It's a sickness. I'm sorry. I'm working on getting it out of my system here.
We're talking Rico and Tigo, right?
Yeah, there's their names.
Yeah,
Sure.
They're listed as being in Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6. They're mentioned that they were off doing.
Mentioned.
Yeah, I think they do say
Two
something
movies.
like,
They tried
"Where's
to
the
count
brothers?"
that.
or couldn't get them. Yeah,
We couldn't get a hold of them. We couldn't figure them out. Yeah.
That's right.
yeah, because at the end of 5, when it shows that they all won and stole the safe, like it shows them in Monte Carlo like rolling the dice, and like they lose their money in theory, and so they couldn't get a hold of them because they're off doing whatever, unavailable. That's right. Good callback. Are you done, Amanda?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say Mia. She never pulls her weight, rarely behind a car. Distracts Brian from what he should be focused on with Dom. No, I don't know. I'm probably gonna say Sean. I'm probably gonna say Sean as well from 3, which is more so because I'm not a huge fan of 3, more so than anything. I think that he plays the protagonist well, but as far as like the lead in this series, he doesn't seem to have the appeal, whatever that is, toxic masculinity, but the appeal of the other characters for a lead in the show.
And got that chutzpah.
A chutzpah, there you go. Sans chutzpah. Bro can't drift.
He learns.
Well, I guess kind of pivoting off that, then I'm going to say, who was your favorite villain? And I'll start off this one. And I'm going to do my customary. I'm going to kind of pivot, and I'm going to choose 2 different villains. My favorite villain, like actually and for real, would probably be the Yakuza guy from Fast and Furious 3. And it's not like the Yakuza guy like who wants a wannabe Yakuza guy. No. It is the uncle of the Yakuza guy that you see him for maybe 5 minutes, and you're like,
Yeah.
that is a man I would not want to cross.
You're talking about DK's uncle.
Yes. I mean, he's not DK anymore, though.
DK is a title that makes you the Drift King, and that's sad that I remember that it's just an acronym of their hood title.
But if we're gonna get like a little for like actual villains, my least favorite villain is going to be Deckard Shaw. Deckard Shaw was built up to be this and we might just discuss it right now. Deckard Shaw, when he was introduced, and I know we talked about it on the podcast, was made out to be the ultimate of ultimate bad guys. One man took down an entire military hospital, looks so cool, and because they started him at that peak, all they do is walk down that mountain from there, and he is, by the end of the movie, again, a caricature of what a bad guy is. Eating his fancy food in a warehouse, or walking in with a big smile and a machine gun to a birthday party. Like, what type of assassin are you? You're the worst assassin on the face of the planet. This is joke land right now. So he is actually my favorite, and I think they did a poor job, because that's got to be writing. 100%, that's got to be writing.
Yep. Deckard Shaw from the first 5 minutes of the movie, favorite character. Deckard Shaw from the remaining 4 hours of that movie, least favorite character.
Yep.
That's a good way to put it. I would definitely follow that up with the same thing. Like, that man irritated me so much because he had such potential, but it was just too much. Don't walk in and be like, I magically did all of this. Show me how you did it. You can pull that kind of stunt like once, maybe maybe twice if you've got a lot of other times where you show us. Otherwise, I don't appreciate the genius when it's already done. It's a movie. We all know it's a movie. I need to see some of the genius to actually think it's genius. Otherwise, I agree with Steven. That guy from the Yakuza, he was like the most. He sold that villain, like, for his short screen time.
I just realized that I pivoted to who was my favorite villain, and I said who was my least favorite villain. I apologize. My favorite villain was actually his brother. His brother was actually pretty dang cool. I enjoyed him. I did not enjoy Deckard Shaw, so I apologize.
My favorite villain is the Baron from the Rio. I just thought he was more interesting. Like it wasn't about revenge. He was just a guy.
This is Brazil.
Yeah, he's just a guy being a bad guy, like a very like Bond villain, and it just so happens he crossed the wrong people.
He takes out his messenger, kills the messenger, the statue off his desk. I will say my favorite villain has got to be Braga. I thought that it was interesting. I think his name is Braga. Yeah, like pretended that he wasn't, came up from the slums, right? El Barrio.
Mm.
Yeah. Simply because it's obvious, but it seems too obvious to be accurate in a weird way. I think the premise of it is an interesting story. They could have played it a lot better to make it more like shock and awe when he actually comes out that he is Braga. I thought that the way they played the story and him, like, he just doesn't care. Like, when he's in the vehicle getting hauled back across the border, he just has zero Fs and doesn't care at all that he's being hauled back. He just knows his boys are gonna find him and take him out. Yeah, I'd say Braga, just for the ballsiness of what he does, being right in the face of the people trying to find him, pretending that he's not who most people already presume that he is. So I must say my favorite was probably Braga. Just a different take on the story.
I would have to say my favorite villain, I think, probably was Owen Shaw, because he was the most villain-esque type character throughout the series there. Of kind of one step ahead of the Fast Crew pretty much throughout the entire movie there. Excuse me. And just kind of portrayed the more villainous role and kind of, for the most part, held on to that kind of throughout the movie.
I agree with that.
To give more of an actual answer for mine, would probably be the Too Fast, Too Furious villain, actually, Carter Verone. He also was one that actually seemed fairly realistic and grounded in a sense where, he's just a Miami drug lord just doing his thing. I mean, not that I necessarily know how realistic it would be, but he's a believable character in that movie, and plays his role well and does. And perhaps the most actually like terrifying villain moment for me, where like it's so nebulous to be like, oh no, someone's going to God's eye me or something if they have a satellite. I don't understand. I don't feel threatened by that. But then like, here's a rat on your stomach with a bucket being heated up. Like, no, thank you. I do not want that. That guy terrifies. Nope. So yeah, he stands out for me as a villain in the series.
Then after the movie, he moves to Montana and joins the show Yellowstone.
I'm glad we were able to get that back for this rerun of the podcast too. If I'm missing any other setups, just slip them to me in DMs and I'll bring them up.
All right. Next question. What was something you admire about the character you liked least? Well, now, if we're going to go with the villain I liked least, I will admire that he could like come up with creative things. But again, to me, that's completely shot by the fact that I don't see it, okay? Character I like least in terms of the good guy, Sean, Sean. I will say he's determined. That could be called pig-headedness. But since it works out in the end, we'll call it determination. Go with that. Go ahead, dude. Or Tyler. I'm unsure.
Was-
Fight it out.
So, for me, what I admire most about my least favorite character, my least favorite character is Dom, is the commitment to the bit. I mean, tell you what, anything that he could do wrong, he is committed to that bit. Is he committed enough to work out for the last movie? No, but he's still committed to the bit. And that's at least admirable. Like, he has up in his headspace somewhere, this is who I am. He looks in the mirror, and some of us look in the mirror, like I look in the mirror and I go, oh, you again? No, he looks in the mirror, he goes, yeah, it's you again. So I admire that.
What is something you admire about the person you think is an idiot? He's the best damn idiot I know.
He
looks in the
truly
mirror
thinks he's
and
an idiot. Yeah.
He looks in the mirror and says, "Who's a strong, successful guy?"
Exactly.
My least favorite character is Sean, and I was like, yeah, sort of what Amanda said, just determination. Is like, he knows he sucks at drifting, and he still just continues to destroy the fuck out of Han's car, like up a ramp, like just grinding against the wall, like somehow like not just like, hey, I ran into some concrete, like I'm done, I've already destroyed someone's car, like let's be done. Also, it looks like Steven's having a bad time, so I'll have to go look at the score
I
again.
am.
But anyway, that was it. Sean sucks.
Is that you, Shotzi?
Go for it, Nick. I'm still thinking.
All right. I was gonna say I also had Sean Boswell, and I was originally gonna make a joke and say he really knows how to take a hit because he gets the crap beat out of him at one point by DK when he realizes he's messing around with his girl. But yeah, I'd probably have to echo that. He's stubborn. He's determined. Like, he knows where he wants to be in the world. I think when we talked about 3, we talked about how he's displaced. He doesn't want to be there with his dad. He doesn't really like the school setting, and the school is where he wants to be. He wants to go to the party after hours where all the kids, drift and ruin cars. And he knows what he wants to be, so he has a dream that he's following. But he's committed in the sense that, like what Steven said, he's committed to, I want to be this person. I want to be the new DK. And aside from, like, directly stealing DK's girlfriend and trying to, like, copy his every move, like, he's hardcore trying to be that person. So, yeah, committed to the bit.
I suppose if I were to give him what do I like most about Vin Diesel's character, since I nominated him as my least liked, I would probably say just the aspect of family and community that he does try to put out as a character there. Like, he truly cares for, it seems like his character truly cares for the other people within his group for the most part, and he does what he can to kind of help everybody out.
Yeah, I also had Dom. I was trying to think, like, I do somewhat appreciate it. I, again, don't know how realistic it would be, but the path that he takes whenever Letty has forgotten him and doesn't just, like, he at least, like, handles that with some, perhaps the most care that he handles anything in the entire series, in terms of, like, not just going headstrong, bashing his way through and demanding that he gets what he wants because he is who he is. He certainly has his right. Forgiven everything else in the series, which is supposedly very feminism forward. Yeah, this is surprisingly adept at navigating an amnesia relationship subplot. Yeah, I'll give him credit for that, even though it still definitely comes off very ham-fisted at times. I think that's it then. Off to Gary's quickfire round, I believe.
Okay, quickfire questions. Who in the characters in the movies had the best hair?
The Rock.
Okay.
The Rock.
Decker Shaw.
Paul Walker. Yeah.
Who would you consider to be the class clown?
Edge.
Roman.
Oh, Roman. You're right. Sorry.
Roman.
Tesh.
Most like
Close.
Lock
most
it in.
likely to succeed when they were in high school.
Wasn't Sean
Deckard
Boswell
Shaw.
in high school?
All right.
I don't
No,
think he
Deckard Shaw
succeeded
was-
very well in high school, though.
Yeah, Deckard Shaw did very poorly in high school. I would say probably The Rock.
The
Probably.
Rock.
Like, who did people vote most likely to succeed? Because then it's the person that Sean raced at the beginning of the movie. People voted him to most likely to succeed.
Ooh.
But
Oh yeah.
Brad from
A
Home
best-
Improvement.
Best song
Ty
from the
Brand.
franchise.
Oh God, what was it?
Tokyo.
Probably Too Fast, Too Furious.
Was it
So-
5 or
Sorry.
6?
I was trying to think of the Charlie Puth song at the end.
See you again.
See you
Well,
again.
that is just like in a league all of its own. There, like that is a
Right, yes.
fantastic song.
No.
But
Yeah,
it's like
that is a
6 or
fantastic
7.
song. And then there's the songs that were in the movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7. It's like
This moment we own it.
there you go. Thank you.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
I also enjoy that I picked the theme song from 2 and Steven picked the theme song from 3. Like, that's...
I think you're all crazy. It's all the Ja Rule songs from 1. Those things are timeless.
Fire
Yeah.
Festival's own. Ja Rule.
Exactly.
6 Days, Most Def featuring DJ Shadow. The opening song in Tokyo Drift.
Most likely to become a millionaire and lose it all.
Roman.
Yes, Roman, the person we saw become a millionaire and lose it all.
Lose it all.
Whatever
The
Gary
Tweedle-
called the twins. Yeah.
Yep, Tweedledee, Tweedledum.
The 2 brothers in Monte Carlo. Yeah.
Start a food fight.
Letty.
Han.
Ramsey.
Han's a good answer.
Yep, he's always got food, so he's always ready.
Solid.
He's gonna start it, but he's not gonna get like hit or anything because he'll
He's gonna
like
throw
start it.
something and
He's
walk
gonna
out the
instigate and duck. Yeah.
Solid.
And then mysteriously be back in the next movie, totally fine.
Most likely to start a band.
On.
Most
Albedo.
likely to start a band.
Oh God, no! It's the correct answer is Vince from Fast and Furious 1, playing his guitar.
Ooh, you're right.
Oh yeah, he's playing guitar. Solid.
Yeah.
I should
Forget
watch
their
it.
own name.
Letty.
Letty.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
That was good.
Shots fired.
That was good. He's not wrong.
Best dressed.
Yakuza.
Wonder
Tej.
Woman.
Yakuza guy.
Giselle.
Oh,
Tej.
sure, yeah. Yeah.
Who has the best
That's
laugh?
just-
Giselle.
Aww.
The little Paul Walker's kid.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Cute
Okay.
little baby.
That was it for
Hey,
quick
Nick.
fire. Unless anyone's got any other ones, we can jump to
My name
Nick.
is good. My name is
Tyler, are
Tom.
you putting in a thing in the after
as
the
good as
recording
Jack.
that says something about Gary's quick fire round?
His dad.
Do you want to put like an audio stinger in there?
Yes,
Mhm.
I think
I'll-
so.
That's
I'll see what
necessary.
happens when I get some recording work, some editing work done.
Throw a couple little soft air horns in there.
Brought to you by Nas. Vroom vroom.
Brought to you by Nas.
Yes.
Proudly supported. Here on question number 5. I am almost done with my Nas. I'm ready to start the second one.
They were really hyped up and getting ready to write us a check, man, and then you never brought them up again. Stop the ball, dude. Keep talking them up.
Okay.
Vroom vroom. Why did we never think of this?
Room.
It's genius.
All right, I gotta make a note now.
Some
I
gold.
was unprepared for that. Brought to you by Gary's
Quick
Vroom
fire
Vroom.
question. Brought to you by Nas. Vroom vroom, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Even if Gary chooses not to tell us he's been sponsored by them, there will be signs when they change their whole thing to
Fine.
vroom vroom.
Right. Oh my god.
Next podcast, there's just a giant flag of Nos behind Gary.
Right.
He's driving a car around
We
town.
won't know we won't know Gary's been sponsored by NOS, but there'll be signs.
There'll be
There'll be
signs.
Vroom, vroom. All right.
Did you change your gamer tag to Vroom Vroom? What's that about?
Every time he can get one of us to say it, he gets another $1,000.
Cha-ching.
Hey, Steven, by the way, what does a car say? Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
Vroom vroom.
All right. Vroom, vroom. Number 6. Of the many ridiculous stunts, and there are many of them, and action set pieces we've seen throughout the series, which one was your favorite and why? Steven.
I'm going to say my favorite one was our friend Dom catching was it Letty falling from a helicopters and going, oh, thank God thankfully there was this car to stop our fall.
Oh, you're
That
talking.
was
Well,
Are you
I
confusing?
believe that's
this
when
with 5 and
they were
7?
launched. Okay.
yes, they were launched.
so.
They were launched. That's what it was.
Launched across a suspended freeway,
Overpass, yeah.
approximately 100 feet minimum,
and crashed into a window.
at about 80
There was a
miles an hour
tank.
minimum. Yeah,
Yes.
it involved a tank
Mhm.
where nobody died. So,
But I was
Everybody's
very
fine.
happy with the statement. At least there was this car to cushion us.
Pretty car.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd criticize that, but on the other hand, I've in video games jumped out of very, very tall towers into a bale of hay and been like, I'm fine. So
Bale of hay, car. Bale of hay, car.
Right?
Once Assassin's Creed finally gets to modern day, that's what it's going to be. Is you just like dive off the tower and into a car, and then
Luckily,
just pop
there's so
right
many
up.
of them.
Like, all right, whew, we're good.
The Dark Knight did us all dirty by doing that.
it's true.
I'm gonna throw mine out and honorable mention the safe. I think that it's plausible, but it was ridiculous. I'm gonna have to say my actual answer is Brian's bus run as it's falling off the side of the building, off the cliff.
Oh, I
That's-
forgot.
Bus run.
Unlike Nick, I don't need to give it an honorable mention. I'm going to say it's the vault heist because I'm sure both the cars and the people driving the cars were drinking NOS.
Vroom vroom.
So,
Way to save it.
yeah. It's just extreme and very unrealistic, but it was just fun the entire way. Like
I can't tell if Steven is paying attention or not paying attention to the podcast based on his reaction.
football. I
He's upset.
100% know what's happening.
podcast
Steven is
right now.
watching Packers football right now, and he's crying in the inside.
Head in hands, just shaking it back and forth. Just,
I thought he
this
was
stupid
upset.
NOS bit.
That's what I thought. It was the NOS reaction.
No, it is not the NOS reaction at this point in time. If it makes anyone feel any better, I feel like it's going to be approximately 5 seconds, and I will no longer have these reactions. I will instead be dead inside.
I was gonna say, Gary, one could say that safe scene was very tastefully done, not unlike a delicious NOS.
Yes, it was very tasteful, and NOS is delicious. I've just about to finish my first can, and we're only on question 6. So, vroom vroom, motherfucker.
Gonna have a heart attack.
This NOS bit is going to be the reason this podcast goes 3 hours.
Yeah.
But
Also, the
Game
reason
looking
that
for
Gary gets
copper.
sponsored.
Came looking
That's right.
for copper. Found
worth it.
I'm going to give my actual answer of it being the safe bit too. I think 5 is I think I said when we did the recording here, like 5 is my favorite movie in the whole series there. And the whole safe scene and everything like that is just fantastic. It's just start to basically finish. Of once that scene starts, it's just go.
I have to follow it up with the same thing. I love that entire scene. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. I would also be going with that. I think, I'm truly trying to remember the other set pieces, and nothing really stands out in a fun way. At some point, I feel like they start trying to outdo that for the rest of the series and never reach that high again.
Okay, I think everyone's answered here. Move on to question 7. The Fast and the Furious premiered way back in 2001. Is there something you feel hasn't aged well in the series, and why? And I'm going to go with JC first because I saw his finger go up first.
I just wanted to be the first one to say the joke from last time. Dom.
Ah.
Uh,
Yeah, so, Yeah, that is what I would honestly say. Part of it too is Dom just being the main physical force throughout these movies is just further and further getting. By the time we're at 7, even is wildly unrealistic at that point, and just to me takes it out of the movie. There is certainly some aspects of language and behaviors in the earlier movies that doesn't hold up today, but
That's what it was.
nothing really super stands out on that front. Gary.
Unlike the delicious taste of NOS high performance energy drink,
You guys brought
which
this upon
does
us.
very much still perform today, I feel like the toxic masculinity in the movies does not transition well. And can number 2.
I do agree with that the masculinity, or what the aspect of what they believe is masculinity, doesn't hold up well from the 2001 version going forward, and kind of how to, I don't know, my feelings on how they treat women are complicated, because I don't know if that changes throughout the movies. There's still, fast women, fast cars, but I could see the argument for there being a slightly more nuanced at the beginning. That said, I will say my joke one is the DVD players being stolen for several $1,000s a piece. While I am now sitting on a bucket load of probably 40, 50 DVDs that we're trying to figure out what to do with. Just throw them away or not. But then the other thing that I think doesn't age super well is I don't think the first movies focus on basically hijacking trucks, and the violence kind of evolved in that, and the truckers using shotguns to defend themselves. I'm not sure that necessarily also ages well in this world. It's not quite as bad as some of the other things, and honest to God,
Even you forgot about harpoons. You forgot about the harpoons.
I had no idea what you were signaling there. So
Well,
yeah,
that's what that means. That's what that means.
that's a,
Oh my
there is
god,
a
what
that's
I
not
was
like-
thinking.
complicated signal now for harpoons, listener. There is very complicated sign
That
for
is-
harpoon.
That sign for harpoons has not aged well already. It is very problematic now. Oh my
like
god.
it instantly just broke JC and I.
Wow.
I didn't know what was happening. I started stuttering. I'm like, what's going on? Is there
Okay.
a fire?
Okay, does anyone have a better
I had to hit mute immediately.
hand reaction to what harpoons should be?
So, since this is a non-video podcast and no one else can see what actually just happened, Gary did something with his hands that was extremely suggestive, and no one had a freaking clue what the hell it meant. And we're all of a sudden like, what the hell is he saying?
Meanwhile, he's sitting in front of a keyboard that he could just easily send a message.
Oh yeah, harpoon. I don't know how you fire a harpoon, my man, but
Yeah.
Is that how you fire a harpoon?
I don't know.
I guess I've never fired one, but I don't think it's that way.
Anyways, I
Crying
feel
over
like
here.
there's actually a significant amount in this movie that doesn't actually age horribly. In these movies, I should say, that don't age horribly. I think that the first movie probably ages the worst because it is an anti-villain thing, and it is a little bit more violent against just regular civilians. I will say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're good. I'll circle back.
I was just going to basically kind of echo the thoughts we've all been talking about. Of the first movie is probably the one of them all that doesn't age the best, especially when I think, again, of its time, and that's not even a great thing to hide behind saying of its time. There was definitely a 3-letter F word that they dropped in that movie that you're like, whoa.
oh yeah,
They don't
that's right.
they don't say this word anymore here, so it's definitely a movie of its time when you go into it.
That was a good callback too. Yeah.
It's not just women. Like, even if you're prepared for it, it's just like, eh.
I'll parody? No, I'll parrot those
Parrot?
same, right? Those same speaking points as well. I think it's kind of like the focal point in some of those toxic masculinity scenes where it's like, ooh, cars, and the videography is like, you know, girls win wet t-shirt contests, zoom in close, and it's like, you could say that they're at a place where that's probably happening without having the videographer like focus in on this poor gal's chest. Or like some of the car racing scenes where it's one-on-one and the focus is supposed to be between the two drivers, but then the camera pans like almost up the skirt of the gal who's like ready to drop the rag to start the race. Like, you don't necessarily have to have that part in the scene. So again, some of it is of its time, but also some of it is just like gratuitous to the point where it's self-serving. And so I think that that's probably something that doesn't age well as these movies are brought into this decade. Nos.
Yeah, that's the sign. That's the universal sign for reaching into the fridge to grab a can of Nos.
Right? That's what I took it as.
Harpoon yourself a can of Nos.
Harpoon yourself a can of Nos. Jeez.
Also, as
Yeah.
you're talking about Nos, the grape flavor, delicious. Probably even better than original.
Well, from what I've heard, original.
You can only go
It's
up. from
not a low
original,
bar to clear.
Jesus.
Try new and improved dirt from the floor. Better flavor than the original.
I'm gonna slow down a little bit because I feel the energy flowing through me.
Yeah, you eventually have to go to sleep tonight, Gary. All right, I think we've covered everybody here, so we're moving on to you, JC, for the next question.
Oh, sure. The Fast and the Furious has been set up as a big tentpole film franchise that doesn't involve characters from comic books or other media. So, if you are familiar with the movies, have you come across any references, merch, or memes that you enjoy? Or, if this was your first watch, were there any references that you now recognize came from the Fast franchise?
Amanda, this is on us. We swore we heard something. What the hell was it that we couldn't name on the last time we recorded this podcast? We had 2 months to remember it. What is it?
Oh God, I don't know. I was gonna say the
I
car.
don't remember.
Now I
Oh.
recognize the car when I go places. Like
Like,
my daughter loves the Hot Wheels cars, and I see the Grand Trino everywhere. Now I'm like, oh, I get that reference. I get that reference now.
I think I mentioned this on when we did the first recording here of just like, since we started doing this podcast, how much Fast and the Furious merchandise stuff is still out there that I've just like randomly run across, like random Lego sets, various model or toy cars and stuff like that. You pick it up, it's like, oh, this is a Fast and the Furious reference. Geez, okay, these movies came out how long ago? We haven't had one since when? So
Yeah, I bought my daughter literally a pack of 6 of those they're like mini Hot Wheels cars, but they're all Fast and the Furious mini Hot Wheel cars. And I mean, I never would have, it blows my mind that those are still out there. And there were a fair amount of them.
Yeah, and they had different variety options too. Like you had to choose which ones you wanted.
I will say, I now recognize, I know more about, I guess, what the family comment is, but I also recognize the importance of maybe like this. What was the song? The really powerful. It's been a long road.
See
and
You
I don't
Again
know actually.
by Charlie Puth.
Yeah, See You Again. Thank you. I
Yeah.
didn't actually know the name of the song, but I always knew that as like a good song. I didn't realize that that was created for, someone actually passing away, let alone someone in a movie passing away. So that was a kind of a revelation for me. And I know there are references, other ones that we have talked about that. If I think about it, I'll come back to me. But yeah.
I have an extremely niche meme that just builds upon nested things where I take screenshots of video games as a hobby, and you just do enough stuff to the game to where it basically is slowed down to a crawl to maximize the quality. And we have a meme that gets passed around the community where virtual photographers take play games one frame at a time, and it's Vin Diesel doing his little "we live our life quarter second at a time," but it's 1 frame per second GIF, so it's all super choppy. So there you go.
One meme that I've come across a couple times, actually just even like this week I saw one too, was where at the end of 7, where Paul Walker and Vin Diesel look at each other between the two cars as they're about to drive off. That meme has like been popular with so many other additional memes, and there's even like chained memes where it's like Ron Weasley from Harry Potter looks over where he's got like the terrified face because he realizes he's flying in front of the car, and then you look over and it's like the Kermit the Frog meme where he's like grumpy looking across the car, and then even the one where it's Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, where you look over and it's, you know, the two guys in suits and it's John Travolta looking back in his car at the back seat behind him. So it's one of those things that's just it's a small nuance of that movie, but people tie it to other things of like what's meant to be a very sincere and heartfelt scene becomes this comical return in many other themes. That one always was interesting to see how people loop it to other things.
I don't have any memes. I don't meme at all.
You don't meme that.
He doesn't meme. He's got too much time enjoying his wonderful NOS.
I'm living my life, Steven. Quarter mile at a time with my NOS energy drink.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom.
Okay, who are we on now?
Steven for question 9.
Okay, I didn't know everyone had answered.
I think everyone's answered.
Okay. JC, Gary, Nick, Tyler, what was something that you learned from this rewatch or that may have missed on previous viewings of these movies? Because obviously Amanda and I had never seen them.
Obviously.
The evolution of the characters from grounded characters to international spies. Like, if you hadn't seen the first one, and even the second one, if you just started with 4, like, I think it's a much different feel. I think we mentioned like 1 through 4 are 4 different genres of movies. So just like it's a weird evolution.
I can go next here. I think our discussions in this podcast really kind of like my disliking of Dom kind of came from just learning a little bit more about what's going on behind the scenes with the Fast and the Furious stuff there. But then like our discussion with it or whatever kind of really changed my overall perspective on him throughout the film.
Yeah, I can't say that there was any particular reason about it from this rewatch that really stood out. But yeah, I would agree that like I don't necessarily recall taking away from my first watching of the series and thinking like, yeah, this Dom guy is getting a little too much. But now this time around is very much that, and especially having become a father since previously watching them, the amount of times that Brian post having a child just goes out into harm's way, and Mia is just like, well, you gotta. And it's like, what? No, he doesn't, man. Like, what are you talking about? He's got a kid. What the fuck?
Right?
Yeah, an adult man can handle himself over here across the like whatever. This isn't important. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he's an adult man with children and no life insurance.
Right? Right?
But he's not living in the USA most of the time, so he's probably better off. You know?
He's only live in places without extradition, like everywhere with extradition.
Solid.
Facts, Steven. Nobody likes your facts.
I like my facts.
extradition. Boo history. I will say I learned all of because I had never seen it all the way through. Seeing like parts of it on like the movie channel and FX, and I've never actually seen it start to finish, and so I would remember like, oh yeah, that's right, he's the main person, and oh yeah, that's right, this guy's something with the local mob yakuza, something like. But I had never like caught the story start to finish, so actually watching that due to this rewatch was very helpful. Like Gary said, it's kind of its own ambiguous thing in this lineup, but it does help paint the picture of who these people are when they are brought back for little cameos later on.
Did you say 3 there, Nick?
3, yeah.
Okay, because must have been on my side there. You got kind of robotic in for something like that. So I heard you most of the way there, but like towards the beginning, it was like, I think he meant 3 there, but I just wanted your clarification.
I also early on started trying to make the what I remember little videos, and some of those were kind of fun to like. What do you even remember about this movie that you haven't seen like a couple of years, like, and you just like break it down to the most like core elements, and specifically like the dumb elements of the movie.
Yeah, even rewatching it sometimes where I was like, I remember this scene happened, this set piece happens in one of these movies, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's 3 of these set pieces I'm thinking of happened on this one movie because this movie is 3 hours long and it didn't need to be. But it's just sometimes it was a matter of just trying to remember where these things are placed.
The endless runway.
Oh yeah, I remember that being endless, but yeah, it was yeah. There were different things, takeaways from that, like the flaps and stuff, having gotten more into flight since I previously watched it, where it's like, okay, well, this makes even less sense now somehow.
That if you're a bad guy, you can get thrown off a plane and live, but if you're a good guy, you can jump off a plane and die.
Facts. Nobody needs those in movies. No one's facts.
All right, I think moving on to Gary for question number 10.
Yeah, Amanda and Steven, how was your experience watching the movies for the first time? And have you talked about it on the podcast? What did you hear about the franchise, and what were your expectations? Would you like to continue onward to other films and franchise, or would you like to talk about movies after 7?
So, obviously,
I'm really jacked on Nas. Sorry for my reading.
I'm really jacked on Nas. I'm sorry, guys.
I was holding it together, and then I saw Tyler start losing it, and then I lost it.
He's reading in the 6th dimension right now. We don't even know.
He got the questions pulled up and say the words.
All right. Well, I will say for the question, I came into this series with a warped perspective. I know everyone has said that they warned me not to expect much out of the first movie, but coming into from what you hear about the Fast and Furious franchise, and what do you tell people you haven't heard it? It's like telling them that you hadn't seen, I don't know, the John Wick movies, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that," and like, yeah, no, I haven't. And then so you go into that first movie and you expect a lot out of the first movie, and the first movie does not have a lot to give. It is a C movie, and I was in there for an A movie, and so I had a very, very rough entrance to this series. It did get a little better from there each time. I didn't really enjoy the second movie, but the third movie was the only one I'd ever seen, so I had some nostalgic fun with that. And then the other couple movies were actually action movies that were okay. So it got better as I adjusted my expectations of the movies. Gary,
you believe that the expectations being lower makes these movies better?
Yes, 100%. These are not high expectation movies. I don't think you
Yes.
should expect quality cinema coming into these movies.
Yeah, which is why I think 3 plays so well, because you go in like number 1 is C, number 2 really brings you down, and your expectations are on the floor. And then it's like, oh hey, they can make a movie out of this thing. All right.
I can confirm all of that because, like, I was warned by you guys. And even if I wasn't warned specifically, the comments and the things you mentioned and the sarcasm dripping about what a great quality series it was gonna be for you guys to watch. And I was pleasantly surprised. Like, every podcast, Steve would be like, "What the hell is this?" And I'd be like, "We were warned. We were told."
Yeah, it's like walking up to a pile of dog dung and going, "This is gonna smell really bad," and you smell it. Yeah, it does. It smells horrible. Eventually, you adjust your expectations and go, "Well, I guess it doesn't smell as bad as the Rottweiler crap." So, but I guess I was, and I think the movie actually grows into more of a A-ish series towards the end. And when I say A-ish series, I don't mean quality-wise. I mean budget-wise, and I mean size-wise. So it goes from C in all degrees to an A budget movie with, again, C quality. But at least at that point, I'm expecting an A movie, and I'm technically getting an A movie. I will say that. Oh, sorry.
I want that to be the caption on it. An A quality series. An A quality series, not in quality.
A quality budget, C quality actors.
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess I don't know. I have mixed emotions on watching these shows. Would I like to continue on with the franchise? I guess. The last movie I think ended on a like the last 2 movies I think ended on a fairly high note. We were in a local restaurant. What was this? Maybe 3 weeks ago or so, and I noticed that number 6 was actually on, and I was watching it, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, I know what's happening. This is kind of fun." So 6 and 7 were kind of fun. 7 was very fun as long as you forget that the villain was supposed to be there. So,
don't worry. Every 5 minutes you'll be reminded because he just shows up in a scene. Anyway,
yeah, just randomly.
we had that.
Who knows how he
podcast.
gets there? But I would be okay with moving on, and I would like to eventually see these movies. I don't know what my expectations should be moving on, because I know the reason why we stopped at 7 was because that was a stopping of obviously Paul Walker passing and kind of a continuum there. From the comments left it here, my assumption would be that we get A+ in terms of size and money spent, and a D- in terms of actual quality moving forward.
Quality.
So that tempers my want to keep watching these movies when there are other things out there, right?
Much like Paul and Dom at the end, there's just a divergence, or budget keeps going up, quality keeps going down.
Actually, we needed that new meme. That's going to be the new meme.
Oh, I love it.
Amanda, what do you think?
I would be okay watching the next ones, honestly. I've kind of got the impression again from your guys' comments that you're not missing much if you don't, but also if you do, then we can have more fun conversations like these.
Yeah, man. If you want to talk about fun stuff, there are some conversations to be had.
Yeah, and there's a lot of contradictions in the later movies that you're like, oh yeah, like this or that. Like, can't spoil because I'm still not gonna spoil, but it's still like these directly contradict things from previous movies.
Remember when we were high school kids boosting cars? Yeah. Look where we are now.
They were never high school kids, except unless it was
Sean Boswell was. You remember?
Was a high school kids. We talked about this. You told us that in the first movie that they were all high school kids, and they're not high school kids.
I think they're supposed to be like just barely out of school, aren't they? Didn't the one dude who got shot at the end of 1 said that like he dropped out of school? whatever.
Yeah,
Well, I
he
mean,
dropped out of school, but it was
that doesn't mean yesterday.
Yeah, it was implied that it had been like a little while.
He literally just like said screw it and then showed up at his home to work on his computer to put that together for Brian. Oh. When you get to be 50, everybody else just looks like they're in high school.
He totally believed that Sean was like, 14, coming of age.
And look at John Boswell went, yeah.
Fast and Furious is a coming of age story.
Oh.
I love it. It's one step above. Oh God, what's the train track movie?
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Oh gosh.
Found a dead street racer the other day.
Oh boy.
I understood that reference. Oh gosh.
All right. Was there ever a scene that left you feeling one way that your opinion on changed after we discussed it together? You know, with our wise thoughts
Like
and wisdom.
I think there were several scenes with Dom that on first watch I was like, this is, and I don't know if it necessarily changed per se, but you would watch it and you go, this is kind of silly. And then talking about it and realizing with you guys that he also produced that or he had a creative say on something, you go, ooh, that was worse than silly. That was much worse than silly. That was outright stupid. So a couple of those moments, but I think I made this comment in our first podcast as well, that I come up with very snap judgments very quickly and I don't change my mind. So
I guess, to what Steven said about like the opinion is like, wow, this has terrible writers, and you're like, oh, like he produced this movie, like he made these decisions. So not only is it like a bad writing from a mediocre actor, he lobbied to be that guy. Like Vin Diesel wanted Dom to be a meathead that bad. So yeah. And also, I guess similar to Steven's, like after we talk about it, you're like, well, this is kind of dumb, whatever. And then Steven will go into the various like explanations of extradition and like government agencies. And I was like, oh, wow, this was dumb, but this was dumb like with no research at all. Like, like suspension of disbelief, and then just like
Diplomatic Protection
nothing,
Service is coming
like,
for us.
That's right.
Like everything behind all the background knowledge is made of paper mache that just will just burn up. Yeah.
I can add in on that too. I think that a lot of since it was produced by Vin Diesel and written in part with some of the creativeness, there's a lot that was probably pitched that people were just like, well, it's his money, so okay. It was just like, and then I visit the Interpol. Okay, that's not a building. And then I, magically can see the future of how this car crash happened, and I know what happened to Letty just by feeling it out. Okay. So it's just, there's just some of this that was probably pitched and nobody balked at, that now, we're all a little older. You go back and watch these movies as an adult, heavily in quotations, and you're like, that's not how that works. So yeah.
I was gonna say one thing that kind of stood out to me was number one for me. Like, saw it the year it came out, and it became such a pop culture thing to reference, like, Mia, I'm a cop, like all the very awkward acting moments in that admittedly C movie that I had forgotten until rewatching it for this, and like kind of talking about with y'all that like that actually is a pretty well choreographed or a pretty well played out reveal where like he doesn't actually say that he's a cop until way late. Like there's all these moments where like it actually ends up being pretty well hidden for a lot of the movie. So one of the things that was giving it less credit than it deserved in that sense. Not that it deserves much, but
He never actually tells Dom he's the cop. Like he's making that phone call and says this is officer, and then Dom shoots him a look like you son of a bitch. Like there's no actual like reveal to Dom up until that moment.
no.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been sitting here this whole time. I think I had something when we first did the recording here on this, but now like nothing is really coming to me on this here, other than I guess just some of the stuff we've talked about. Like, or I think maybe just the whole, because kind of like you, JC, I had saw these movies way back when, and I've seen them probably more recently than you probably had, but like I just wasn't thinking about them in the sense of like, yeah, Dom's character is kind of shitty after a while. It just progressively gets worse. So that's one thing I think this podcast kind of helped put into focus of just like Dom's character really devolves kind of throughout the series here from the beginning till we get to the point where we are in 7.
And even like it's kind of mentioning it here, it was kind of an insightful, I think, to call them A budget movies with C quality acting, because like it was started from a C movie, and then they didn't have those characters for a few things, and then it was such a lauded response from the fandom to like bring back the people from the first movie who were not good quality actors. They were just the people who were in that movie, and so nostalgia wins out, and they say, "Yeah, this is exactly what we want. It's the people we saw from ages ago." And then saw them in hardly anything else because they don't really get cast in other movies because they're not good actors. Like, weird that the quality isn't really great when it comes to the writing and acting. Yeah, that now they've built this giant money machine tentpole franchise around these people that probably wouldn't have much work if they didn't have this series. It's weird.
I was just looking at the list of actors that, like, the main actors, because I was wondering about that. And I mean, Vin Diesel kind of he had the Reddit series, but I mean, other than that, I don't know him in anything. Paul Walker,
like,
I have no idea where he's from.
The Chronicles of Riddick, main character, known for not saying much and just sitting there and looking brooding in the shadows. Like,
oh, I agree. Because Michelle Rodriguez, I don't think she's in anything special. Jordana Brewster, same.
Halo 2, thank you very much.
You're muted, Gary.
She's in Avatar. Michelle
She's
Rodriguez.
in Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Paul Walker's in Timeline, also, Steven.
Isn't he in Friday
Yeah,
Night
and
Lights?
that was a cult hit, Amanda.
Yep,
It's
you're
a
right, Nick.
great
Friday
book.
Night Lights. He's the starting quarterback there.
Yes, I know. That's why I called him quarterback every single time we talked about him. Thank you, sir.
The villain from Too Fast, Too Furious goes out to Montana. Does something on a ranch.
Well, I was just looking through this, and the only two actors and actresses that I think really had good careers were Gal Gadot and Dwayne Johnson.
I mean,
Late
Gal
additions to
Gadot
the
was
series,
Wonder
too.
Woman, though. But what else has she done besides being Wonder Woman? And Wonder
She's been in
Woman
a
2
couple
was
other things.
Wonder Woman 2
Yeah,
was
no,
not that
Wonder
great
Woman
of a
2
movie.
was great. I think she's done a couple other things.
She has,
Because I
but
think
they've not
Fast
been
and the
as
Furious
big.
was like her first big start into acting there, and then
No.
She's
Could be.
in Red Notice on Netflix with The Rock again. That's kind of
I
fun.
know she's in that new Snow White movie, but I think that kind of flopped.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad. Holy buckets. Going on a death trade.
you're
Her
kinda
singing
right.
is like the worst fucking part of that movie.
Ooh. Ouch.
yeah. Speaking of Gal Gadot singing there, she was part of that group who got in trouble during the pandemic there for singing that song Imagine or whatever.
Oh,
They're all
God.
singing this song in their nice celebrity mansions while the rest of us are out here dying from COVID and everything.
I don't remember that. Oof.
No,
Yeah.
I remember there being push. I didn't watch the song, but I do remember there being pushback because they were doing it to cheer everyone up, and it just came off wrong.
You are right that the only other movie that she has done is that really hit was Wonder Woman. So you are correct about that. I apologize.
So that puts it down to The Rock and maybe Vin Diesel. So yeah, it's
Pretty much.
Diesel's also in all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies as Groot.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yes,
voice
this
work
is
for
true.
Groot, yeah.
You don't have to see his face,
Right,
and he
yeah.
doesn't have to do any acting. Like, is that really like?
Are you insinuating he's acting in the Fast and the Furious?
He's trying to, man.
He's attempting.
Streets always win.
If he was better at acting, maybe he would have worked out for the latter movies. But
I want to see the crossover now where
I mean-
Groot plays Dom. I live my life ask any racer, any real racer. I am Groot.
I feel like that's a challenge. Just dub "I am Groot" for every
time he
time
speaks.
he opens his mouth.
And then replace Guardians of the Galaxy Groot lines with Vin
Ooh.
Diesel one-liners.
That'd be even better.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I'll put that out to the fan edit community, see what happens.
There you go.
Anybody
Who knows?
else?
Our fan might want to do that.
Yeah. I forgot about our one fan. It's been so long
Yeah.
since we've done any recordings. I wonder if he's still out there.
Yeah.
He or she. Or did,
Yeah.
Or she.
did we come to
They're
the
still out
conclusion?
there. Yes.
Maybe it was two of them because I think we had a female presence at one point in time. So maybe we might have two fans.
They've undoubtedly told
That's a
their
weird
one
word
friend
for us.
about this podcast.
Nothing right. Yeah.
And it was the same one. They just had to their phone wasn't working, so they had to listen on somebody else's for.
Right.
But they're that dedicated that they did use someone else's to listen.
Hold on. I want to listen to this Spotify podcast, and I don't have my phone. Can I borrow yours?
Wait, what night is
Anyway.
it? Oh, they always upload this evening. A new hot
Okay.
drop.
Nick, are you ready for the next question? Question 12.
I am Tyler, Mr. Host. You started this crazy ride. Was the group's reaction to the show what you expected?
Oh, what did I say the last time I thought about this question there? Because I have not thought about these.
Expecting-
Good thing here.
I have not
Something
thought about these
eloquent.
questions at all since we last started our recording. I think it was interesting for Steven and Amanda for being two people very new to this, but had somewhat of an idea of the Fast and the Furious franchise to kind of come into it and get a fresh perspective on it. And yeah, JC mentioned too from that first movie, we don't hear Brian's a cop until that gets revealed there basically or whatever to everybody else. Because I thought it was sooner too. Obvious. It's glad to know that I still have a different opinion than Gary there. That Too Fast, Too Furious is the worst movie in the whole franchise. Well, it's the worst movie in the 7 films that we've watched. There, I can't say anything about the other ones because it's been a while since I've
Does
seen
that
those
make you
other.
excited, Steven? There might be a worse movie. There might be. Cross your fingers.
No.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
I think I've only ever watched most of those later movies once in the theater, and I haven't watched them since. Because I think with all my buying, purchasing lately, it's been well, this is in a series. It'll finish up, and then I'll just buy the complete collector's series at one point in time. And they're still making movies. But yeah, I thought overall it's been a fun podcast to kind of get everyone's input on these film series there and just kind of see what everyone thought of everything. So that is my answer. All right, jumping into question 13 then. About our recording of season 3, are there any fun behind the scenes secrets of recording the podcast for season 3 that the casual listener might like, other than the fact that we lost the first recording for this episode? Gary?
I had a kid. Well, someone else I know had a kid.
I was going to try to take that thunder from him.
I think that was between the last movie and the wrap up. Or I don't remember when we did the last movie and when we did the wrap up, but yeah, that's interesting-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, Gary had a baby.
I sent one of my babies to surgery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big moves happening behind the scenes for familial lives.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Amanda and I, every once in a while, had to abandon said podcast while we were podcasting and go consult our daughter, who was screaming and crying in the other room.
And interesting thought, between our last wrap up and now the wrap up that didn't get saved, the last couple episodes, my daughter was learning what podcast was, or at least the word.
Oh my god.
And between that and now, she has realized something about what it is. So just this week, though, she heard Stephen online talking to some of you fine people and goes, "Oh, Daddy's podcasting?"
Yeah.
So,
That is
we
even my
learned
daughter.
things. It's super adorable.
That's right. On podcasting, we're sponsored by NOS. We can't be interrupted, honey. Sorry.
Sorry, honey. You'll have to go grab your own NOS out of the fridge, and grab me one too.
Now, she's part of the commercial. In the commercial, she goes to the fridge, opens it, and brings the NOS back to Stephen.
Right?
There you go. I just
I
clicked my
hope
fingers.
she's driving a Hot Wheels that's got like flames shooting out the back, and she's getting it
God
over
damn,
to
yes,
me.
she is now.
Yeah.
Here you go, NOS. We figured out your marketing and everything.
You got to make sure when she hands the NOS
Also-
over that the product placement is visible.
sure it's
in the
turned.
hand. Yeah,
Of
right.
course. No.
Daddy, does this make you go vroom vroom? I was like, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Not like
I will not
like
say it like
that,
that.
you
That is the
pervert.
weirdest way to say it.
What the heck? Oh gosh.
I am.
Yes, it does.
Number 14. Are there any new? Did anybody else have anything for number 13
No.
before we
No, I
get
think
our
we're good.
one listener banned for listening to us? Are there any new inside jokes from this season that a casual listener might like to know about?
We ramped up the conspiracy theory. Oh,
Right.
no. Yeah. And Gary has his new fucking grappling hook.
No,
Yeah,
early
just-
on, Steven
Harpoon.
was like, oh, like the harpoons from the first movie, and then they had electrified harpoons in the second movie.
That's right.
And
We get the movie reference.
pretty good.
But what's with the hand coming out thing?
I couldn't figure out a hand gesture that properly emotes harpoons.
And you still can't, but
Finger pistol, my man. It's been there forever. Houses.
That I don't think that properly emotes harpoons.
Oh, gosh.
Just gun violence.
I think the Fast and Furious bingo is new this year.
yep,
Season.
yep.
Yes.
Oh, that was, yeah.
I'll have to rename that channel like just bingo items for whatever we do next here, whatever.
Podcast bingo.
Yep, podcast bingo.
And don't worry, listener. If you message us now with a $5 contribution, you too may have a bingo card.
Code word harpoon nos.
Sponsored by NOS.
Yeah, we'll get the layout done. NOS will just be up on the top. Bingo, NOS, presented by NOS, powered by NOS.
Powered by nos.
You know, we made a whole bunch of jokes about Coronas, and I don't think anyone's drinking a Corona.
Nick
Right
had
now.
one for a couple podcasts, but
I had
also,
we
just
had a couple for
behind the
podcasts,
scenes
but we don't have one
fact,
now.
we're recording on a Sunday, and some of us have to go to work tomorrow.
This is
I
and-
think all of us have to work tomorrow.
I
Yeah,
am,
like we're all
I'm
being
a NOS
responsible
and a
right
half
now.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Two
a NOS
NOSes
and a half in,
at
and I was
10
gonna
minutes to
start
midnight.
drinking.
Gary's just not going to sleep. Gary's starting work now.
And he's going to be done by 2 a.m. He's going to be
Right.
productive.
That's the next commercial too. Oh, I'm tired. I can't find my energy at midnight. Oh wait, nos. And then it shows till 2 in.the morning. Just powers through.
Vroom vroom. I have to make the noise. It's vroom vroom.
There's no you when you pop it, it goes vroom vroom.
Whisper too. I like it. Oh, well, I will say, what was one conversation from our podcast that was a fun discussion, and why, JC?
Well, no, just the way you said that was like, oh, I will say one thing. Like you had something else to add to the conversation, then you're just
Not
like
even slightly.
moving the heck on.
freight train over here.
Again.
I was just going to say, Steven's just upset, but go ahead.
Well, I think we had a pretty good, fun conversation, and Gary did a lot of fact checking when we found those original DVDs. Gary went hardcore into the paint, looking up
Yes.
the model numbers and SKUs of all these damn freaking DVD players from the 2001 to judge how much money was actually in there.
Yeah, it turns out it's very, very hard to read model numbers on boxes in like DVD quality video, as they like are trying to slide past it in a pan shot. And it's just like, that is a TV and with a VCR attached, and here's the number. And it's a DVD player, and I'm just like, oh, like, and there's duplicates or like. They didn't worry about showing me the full product number. They obscured the model number. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Next time, don't obscure my model numbers.
I think another fun one that I had at least was I had fun with the conversations regarding the diplomatic protection service and all those other things, and in learning exactly how they are used in this series. That was infuriating but fun.
Ubiquitously.
Steven's reaction to the first movie and just being like dumbfounded that like this movie got
Why
9
isn't this high
sequels.
art?
I know.
It just
Okay.
ain't, man. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you.
Again, after we specifically told him the first movie is it's not.
Well, there was-
Was
There was some-
warned.
There was definitely some cognitive dissonance going on where I just did not. You could say it all day long, but these have been built up in cultural, I would say, I don't know, whatever, but I could not believe it was not relevant to me to believe that these were not good movies. Why would people watch them if they weren't good movies? Answer me that. Riddle me that.
Riddle me this.
Except for, your friends who presumably you listen to and trust told you several times that, hey, these are not like...
Listen to, trust,
Nah.
It's wise. I will say something that's a fun conversation is every time we bring up Too Fast, Too Furious, because I'm with Gary that you have to just take Too Fast, Too Furious as its own genre. It's a buddy cop. It's not meant to be a heist movie like the first one or a whodunit. It's not meant to be like even an action movie. I mean, there's not really that much action except for the very end where
It's
like
not meant to
they
be a good
crash.
movie.
They again. We've already talked about this. The series is A quality with C quality.
No, this
C
movie
quality
gets like
action.
fucking C quality fucking budgeting too.
I like the conversations about it because it's just a different take on something. I think that a lot of these movies have a certain nostalgia to them based on when you've seen them, and so since, for me, I forget when 2 came out, but like early 2000s. It's one of those things that you just remember as like, oh yeah, that's what cars are like when they drive fast. And can you imagine having friends who have access to all these fancy cars? And now as an adult, you're like, there's nobody on earth who has that. That doesn't exist. And so it's interesting. It's fun, and it's meant to be lighthearted. So in the context of, is it a great quality movie? Absolutely not. But I think that they lean into that heavily, trying to give it a good plot and interesting characters, but they come off as just humorous and ridiculous.
I will say a fun conversation for me has been trying to listen to everyone justify why these are so bad.
I don't think they're bad. I just think they're of a quality, other than 2. I just think they're of a quality from a time and a place.
Just so full of
that's
hate.
the thing, right? It's like I'm
Just-
being told that this 90s SNS what is that? Whatever the old video game controller was. Oh,
Super
this game was,
Nintendo Entertainment System?
yes, SNES. It's an amazing game. It's the quality game, top game that could ever be played. And you play the game, and it's like, this is shit. I get that you guys have like nostalgia here, but this is a shit game. I don't know what to say, man.
Curious of what game Steven's referring to now.
He hates
There's
Super
several from back
Nintendos.
then. I do not enjoy those old games. I do not.
There goes our SNES
Give
sponsorship.
him your spreadsheet simulator.
Yeah, it doesn't have any spreadsheets. How am I supposed to play them? Where's the Excel?
Anyway,
I think we're moving on to Amanda's question there, unless anyone else had anything else. Amanda, hit us with question 16.
All right, so before we reveal the final total of conspiracy theories, let's go around and take a guess of how many we think there were. Yes, we did this already in the previous Lost podcast. However, I'm betting you guys don't remember for sure. You possibly remember I just blanked on the word myself. But anyhow, how many conspiracy theories do you think there were? Go.
Too many.
Honest to God, I forgot how many there were, so I'm going to say 32.
That's way
I
too
think I
much.
remember, and I think it's 26.
I'm going to say Hitchhiker's
Depending
42.
on who's counting.
Hitchhiker's 42.
Tyler?
I will go 27.
I think we averaged
Price is
about
Right was-
2 per episode, and there's only been about 7 total episodes of the show minus episode 0. So
Why would he minus episode 0? That counts.
I don't know if Gary threw a conspiracy theory in that episode or not.
2 minus 0 is still 2, sir.
Fucking A.
Anyways, I'm gonna say 16.
So the plot twist was the word I was looking for. Plot twist was that both Gary and I kept track of episodes or of conspiracy theories for this podcast season. Fun fact, we had different numbers. If we go by Price is Right rules, Tyler has won. My count was 23, and Gary's count was 25. Now, I sat here at first trying to consolidate because I kept track of statistics in terms of numbers, and Gary kept track of statistics in terms of theories. So you need to go through and listen to the episodes to really figure out who was right. I had 2 episodes in which I recorded 0 conspiracy theories. Gary had 1 episode in which he recorded 0 conspiracy theories. So I actually enjoyed that quite a bit. So I did not try to line it up better. Episode 1 had the most by far at 7 conspiracy theories. Some of these included conspiracy theories by Steven, myself, Nick. I think. Nope.
I still don't think I've
Tyler.
given one, have I?
Yeah, I was like, I don't have anything written down for Tyler. I don't have anything written down for JC. So, Gary has the most. I counted 4 for Steven, 3 for Nick, and 1 for myself.
Just wait. I'm going to go through them now.
Because we do jokingly say conspiracy theory a lot. So sometimes it's followed with a joke, sometimes it's followed with a conspiracy theory, and sometimes we don't say conspiracy theory before we say conspiracy theory. So what counts? The viewers, the listeners decide.
Okay.
Or I do, because I
So
can track.
let's recap conspiracy theories and call out some of the better ones, or all of them, because that's what I did last time. And fuck it, we got time. It's only what time? It's only
We've got
midnight.
2.5 NOSes in us. We're ready to go.
Yeah, we're ready to
Vroom, vroom, man.
roll.
Season 3 conspiracy theories presented by NOS.
Yeah.
Ride the dragon.
I think episode 1 on April 1st, I started with number 3. Brian called off the cops for the street racing to start. Number 4, the cops let Dom and Brian go. Number 5, specifically attributed to Nick, Dom drives red cars because he is furious, and Brian drives green because he's fast?
Envious.
Envious.
Envious
Yes.
was it?
I don't think
number
we actually
6.
had an answer that during the podcast, which is why we left it open-ended.
Number 6, Dom was trying to free Johnny Tran's sister from a life of crime.
I remember that one.
Yep.
I went deep on that one.
Episode 2, conspiracy theory number 1, Monica called the cops. Conspiracy theory number 2, Roman is invited to the club to see the rat game. Okay. Number 3, Roman and Brian stole money much earlier in the movie, like during the car swap. Now I think we're on to movie number 3. First conspiracy theory from Steven. Number 1, alternate universe when the main characters become Hot Rod Racer. No idea what that means. It's the 3rd movie and it's not good. Amanda, conspiracy theory number 2. They all just die. The rest of the movie is a hallucination. And that has to do with the car race at the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
Conspiracy theory number 3, modern day Lannisters. Conspiracy theory number 4, the mom bangs the detective. Conspiracy theory number 5, not a
That one's
hooker.
legit.
Ugh.
Conspiracy theory number 6 from JC, could have turned the garage into an apartment. Conspiracy theory number 7 from Nick, uncle killed his brother. And then we're on, I don't know if this is the one we jumped an episode.
Yakuza guy. Killed DK's dad.
We went from 429 to 527, so maybe there's that's the...
That lines up with one of my episodes of no conspiracy theories as well. I just have also the following episode with no conspiracy theories, and I think you start some.
This would be movie number 5. First conspiracy theory from Steven. Product placement for Microsoft Shift Key. I don't even know what that means. And then we jump another
If you know, you know.
month for conspiracy theory number 1 from Steven. 6 is based on the 6 people in the podcast. Conspiracy theory number 2 from myself. Dom doesn't bleed blood. Conspiracy theory number 3. They race for respect. Conspiracy theory number 4 from myself. The plane is on a NASCAR track. Conspiracy theory number 5 from JC. JC is secretly behind the conspiracy. And we jump to the next movie. My conspiracy theory number 1. Shaw was able to mail a bomb from Japan to California. Conspiracy theory number 2 for myself. Dom really hates Aston Martin cars. Conspiracy theory number 3 from Nick. Dom doesn't know how to reload or unload a shotgun.
That's my favorite one.
It's really
And
good.
that is all.
Was that one like because didn't he just grabs it out of the back of the we never see him load it, and then when he's done he just shoots and then starts swinging with it.
Throws it.
Is that what it was?
He throws it and
rolls
then then grabs a.
I think that was after the 2 cars collide, and then he just jumps out with a shotgun. No, wait.
Well, he
they
shoots the
collide early on
shotgun
in
up
movie.
at the car.
Down.
He thought
Shoots
this
it
I think
down.
that was the second time they fight.
on the parking
Yeah.
garage area,
On the
not
parking
on the
garage.
bridge.
He shoots the shotgun down because he does the whole ramp, hops a wheelie with his Charger.
Yeah, he ramps up
to land down on top of the Aston Martin, or was it a Mercedes Benz or whatever.
Oh.
Then shoots the shotgun down, and then he gets out with another shotgun that's loaded, and then just fires them both into the air because they're going to have a street fight.
You thought this was going to be a street fight, Mr. Super Secret SAS person who could kick the shit out of me because I'm just some kid from the hood? Yeah, you're right. Let's do this thing. Good stuff.
It is stuff. Yep.
It is stuff. I don't know if it's good. It's good and it is stuff, but is it good stuff?
Over to you, Nick.
Next question.
No, it's 17.
Yeah, Gary just did 17. We're on to 18 now.
I believe in you.
Oh. I thought we were going over Amanda's 16. Okay. 18.
Oh, no.
18.
Who's had too much nos now, Nick?
Not me. Apparently,
not
I've
enough.
lost
Yeah,
my focus.
so-
You need
Gary,
more nos.
hey, friend, how can I better keep my focus when I'm doing podcasts?
If you drink nos, it'll enhance mental focus.
That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know,
Yeah.
bud. I'll have to grab a nos next time I go out.
Say barkeep.
I hate everything about this.
Think about this. Finish
In
the
case
phrase.
you hate nos, it's Tyler was the one who convinced me to get a nos for this episode.
Tyler does not approve of our messages, Nos. He's not one of us.
Send me
Finish the
checks.
phrase. If you liked the Fast franchise thus far, you'll love blank.
Go ahead,
Gonna
Gary.
just-
I'm going to think about this a little bit before.
I said the James Bond run because it evolved from a grounded and fun movies to just action set piece movies.
You're talking
Are you
about
talking
the,
Number
Simply
one,
the Daniel
right,
Craig?
wrong.
the Daniel Craig
Number
ones?
two,
The Daniel Craig ones. I don't like the Daniel Craig ones at all.
you're still wrong.
Also, are you implying the first movie or two is grounded for
It's
Fast and Furious?
something. It's something. It's not great, but neither are the early James Bond movies. They are what they are. Like they
The Daniel Craig James Bond movies are fantastic. They are really good.
I
They
agree
are
with
just
Steven on this
action
one.
shit. Like you try to sell Quantum of Solace to me as a good movie, and
Gary's-
that's the challenge. Quantum of
Gary's
Solace
just
is
an-
like fucking shit.
Gary's just an angry
Anyway.
purist.
He
Yes,
is.
that's
He
gonna
really
be our
is.
next series to watch.
No,
Oh my gosh.
that's a bar too far.
What was I going to say? I can recommend movies. So I would say, if you like the Fast and Furious franchise, you would like Sicario 1 and Sicario 2. Sicario 1, fantastic, kind of anti-hero movie to an extent. It is, I would say, actually far better quality than the Fast and Furious movies. And then you get to Sicario 2, and they forgot what Sicario 1 was actually supposed to be about, or what was it about, what made it good, and they just go all in on action. And it's like you get the compression of the Fast and Furious franchise. The first portion is a kind of a human drama. The second portion is all action, so you can do that.
Interesting choice.
So, mine's not exactly like. It's the first one that leapt into my mind, but it's not like Fast and Furious movies at all. I thought of Shannara Chronicles, Steven, purely because there's things that aren't thought out. There's things that are a train wreck. There's character backstories that aren't really fully explained. However, in the same vein of like, as long as you come to it with a expectation of like a little bit lowered levels, it reminds me of that same thing of like, hey, I have to just accept some things, but you'll still really enjoy it. And then you'll trail off and not finish watching them because, you just got to a point where you're like, I'm gonna go, I'm done.
Is this a movie or a show?
It was a show, right?
Okay.
It was some
Based
kind
on
of
a book
show.
series.
What? What is it?
A show
Shannara
based on a book
Chronicles?
series, yeah, the
Oh,
Shannara
I
Chronicles.
thought you said Chronicles of Narnia for some reason. My
Oh,
brain
no.
Sideways.
No, it was a random, like, I never thinking this the first time we recorded this. It was just something that had been, like, for some reason, it was reminding me of that. Even though, like, they have nothing, one's action, one's fantasy, and, like, they have nothing in common otherwise, but still the same veins of, like, the feelings for me.
If you had something, Nick, go for it.
I was going to say, if you like the Fast franchise thus far, you'll love, I'm going to say Transformers with Michael Bay.
Ooh, that's a good
Ooh,
one.
that
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
good one.
That's actually great, yeah.
'Cause I'm sitting here thinking about it, like, I'll go watch the again, movies I've seen in the theaters and, like, have not watched, beyond that. But, like, if it's on TV, sure, why not? I'll watch it in the background. But I go to watch those because it's visually interesting, like all the little articulating movements and the characters and like the explosions and the action and the sequences, very much like all of the car chases. It's not like I'm gonna go to watch the excellent acting styles of Shia LaBeouf. Like, no, that's not what really it's about.
There-
So I'm gonna I'm gonna say that.
They're spectacle movies for sure. Like the first Transformers movie, I think, is actually a fairly good movie.
The arc too, right? The first one kind of starts off like, oh, this premise is interesting. Okay, I like the way they're doing it, and then it just boom.
Mm-hmm.
A+ budget, C quality acting.
Yeah, but they got Megan Fox, so
Very true. My answer I would give here is if you like the Fast and the Furious stuff, I don't know why this stood out to me, but the Forza games, Forza Horizon specifically, there
Yeah.
of just driving fast cars, doing stupid stunts, hitting giant jumps with them and stuff like that. They're just a fun time to have there, basically.
Yeah. It's like Fast and the Furious celebrates cars in a way that isn't like, oh yeah, I really enjoy learning about piston firing rates, and like it's just like, no, shiny car go fast, vroom vroom, nos. And so Forza Horizon is definitely in that vein. It's like there's the Forza side where you can really get down and do all the stupid tweaks to every camber angle of the tire, whatever. Forza Horizon just says, here's a cool electronic soundtrack or rock soundtrack, go nuts, race an airplane, whatever.
Yep.
Good call. I think my recommendation from the previous time was if you like the action side of Fast and Furious, and you clearly don't care about the story much, so I would recommend something like Shoot 'Em Up, which was a fantastic movie, all action, minimal story, just 2 hours of fantastic good Clive Owen shooting 'em up. And if you do like the story for some reason in Fast and the Furious and that sort of theme of family and the people you choose to be with rather than the people you were born into this world with, that sort of thing, The Good Place is a fantastic series. I would recommend that.
Love that series.
All right, let's share our final rankings of the movies. And I honestly don't even recall whatever I put.
We can just all agree 2 is the number 1, right?
The number 1 in last place, yes.
Yeah, starting from the
Number 1 in
bottom.
our hearts.
I wrote down my answers because I'm good at record keeping. 4, 5, 2, 6, 7, 1, 3. So I think 3 is the
coincidentally,
worst.
those are the
1
numbers
is
to
the
his
second worst.
lock on his house.
Say him again a little slower.
4, 5. So the 2 they came back with everyone. And then obviously number 2, because that one is just a buddy cop fun. 6 and 7 because they'd already gone off the rails and they're fun. And then the first one. And then the third one is just fucking hot trash.
All right. I will see your ranking, and I will say number 6, number 3, number 7, number probably 5, 1, 4, and 2.
Why do they sound like lottery numbers?
They do. Follow me for more advice on how to win the lottery.
4. He doesn't like the one where they come back.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
I don't. That wasn't fun. That wasn't a fun movie.
Was that the one where the girl dies?
I do.
That's the
What?
one where Letty dies, yes. Allegedly
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah, that's the one where Lenny dies.
Yeah, it is. Is the one where Letty dies, and then Dom goes off on basically his Spider-Man 2 moment or Spider-Man 3 moment of being a depressive person, and I don't know. It's a movie. It is not a movie that I would want to watch. So I've ranked those in the top 3, 6, 3, and 7. I would sit down and watch. The next couple, I mean, if they're on, I'm not going to actively ask you to change the movie. And the last couple, Can we shut off the TV, please? I'm trying to talk to you here.
I guess on that note, are there any that you would totally like? I guess I would probably just leave the TV on for all of them. Like, whatever.
Depends on what I'm doing.
I guess it depends on what I'm doing. I'm going to actively ignore 4, 2, and probably 1.
4, 1.
I'd probably be right about there with that order. Yeah. And trying to 3 might be my number 1 just from a go back and rewatch it standpoint, but yeah, I'd probably put 3, 6, 7, 6, 7, 5 probably, maybe 6, 5, 7. Yeah, and then yeah, 2 and 1 maybe, might be 1 and 2. Yeah, 2 would be the one I'd at least want to rewatch. I mean,
Where's
just
4?
the buddy cop style. 4? Oh yeah, sorry. That's gonna be right after 5. Yeah, the gang coming back doesn't do much for me.
They had to put it at the top just so Tyler has to rewrite his message.
Mine would probably go just because I liked the 5th movie for so much longer. I ranked that first, so number 5, then 7, 6, 1, 2, 3. I'm not saying 2 and 3 were bad movies. It's just compared to the others, they got ranked lower. And honestly, I did debate 1 a little bit because I just feel like it's lesser quality, but I did enjoy 2 and 3. I just like the others much better. So
Where are you putting 4?
I forgot 4.
See,
Braga.
Oh God,
it's
hold
not.
on.
It's
Now I
not
gotta think the
bad.
whole
It's
thing
not
over again.
amazing.
They forgot
Just
about
doing
that.
Yeah.
Middle of the road.
I'm pretty sure at first I ranked them as like it was 5, 7, 6, 4, 1, 2, 3 because I counted halfway down and then halfway up. So put it right in the middle.
Doing the drug
5,
Halfway
7, 6,
happy.
4, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
8675309.
All right. I think my
Buddy,
list.
I've got your number.
My
But
list
I won't tell you because I respect you.
is still 5, 7 and 1 are tied for second place. 6, 4, 3, 2.
I can't remember. I was trying to remember this whole time what I originally said in the first Lost episode, but I'm probably going to say 5 is up there. I'm going to say 5, 4, 6, 2, 1, 3. Is that all of them?
You're forgetting 7.
5. Oh, damn. 5, 4, 6. 5, 4, 6. 2. 7, 3. Is that right?
I don't know. Is it right?
2, 1, 7, 3. Is that what you're saying? 5, 4, 6, 2, 1, 2, 7, 1, 3.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
right. 5, 4, 6, 2, 1, 7, 3. Yeah, that's 7 numbers.
She's got it. She's got it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably the same reasoning that Amanda mentioned too. I don't think that the movies at the bottom of my list are terrible. I think I'd keep them on just as background, or depends on what I'm doing. But compared to the other ones, I think I just like the other ones better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's all of them.
Okay. We should throw them to some like aggregator to see kind of what rises and what doesn't compared to everyone's list there, but
you got to write your own list in there.
I did. Well,
If only-
mine's up a little higher.
If only,
Oh, yeah.
if only any of us knew how to use Excel.
I see what you did there.
Oh,
I see what you did there.
oh, sick burn.
All right. So then I think we are moving on to the final question of the evening here. And what are your overall thoughts on the series?
Hot garbage.
Goodbye, Nick.
I made this quote for the previous
Leave the chat.
podcast, and it's like, The less Vin Diesel, the better the movie gets.
You say that, but your list is 4 or 5 to start off.
All the heavy Diesel
3.
story.
Like, what made 3 bad is because they had to
3.
shoehorn in fucking Vin Diesel.
I thought
That's
you were
what
gonna
made it
say
bad.
because
That's
he
what made it
wasn't
bad.
actually
The
funny.
the last 30 seconds, it was
Oh
number
my
2 on the
God.
list, but
Other
then
than
oh,
Cinema
You said the
quality.
least
but when it
amount
got
of
that-
Yeah. Least amount of Vin Diesel makes the movies better. He's in that one the least, dude.
He's not at all in 2,
that's true. That's the very least, yeah.
but like 4 and 5, you could tell that he hadn't fully like taken over
Yeah.
the series yet.
Mm-hmm.
hadn't taken over in 3 either.
Like he actually cared. Like he was doing it for the fans, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm doing this for me now."
I think that my overall thoughts on the series personally are this is maybe a good representation of why there should be a creative separation between actors and necessarily the things that they act in, and creative separation between what the fans want and what can be produced. We always like to think that people aren't, and there are definitely problems. I am a Firefly purist. I believe that Firefly should have continued on, but the critics apparently thought I was an idiot. When it comes to certain things, though, giving a whole bunch of fan service is not the way to go forward. And I think that this shows what can happen to a series. But then my overall thoughts are as well, I have no idea how this caught fire. I have no idea how this became quite so popular. So a little bit of confusion are my overall thoughts on the series.
You are not the target market. That's how.
Is that a compliment or is that an insult? I don't know.
That's a compliment.
A little bit of both. Any other
I think,
final thoughts?
I'd follow along with that. That yeah, it very much. I think to Steven's point that it kind of shows how the separation of creativity versus almost the desire to show the fans what they demand for. It's a little bit of there's the whole rise of AI creation for things, and it's like, oh, you can make the game that you want. You can make the movie that you want. You could have 700 Harry Potter movies that are all what you want. I heard it described that, like, I don't want the movie that I want. I want the movie that someone wanted to go through the struggle and effort to create, to tell the story. Like, that there's a meaning behind their intent to put this out that was worth the struggle, that was worth the effort put into it, rather than just here's this schlock that, like, well, you'll watch it. It's got your favorite Fast and Furious 1 people back, so yeah, sure, here it is, enjoy. You liked explosions? Here's more of them. You liked 2 hours of a movie? Here's 2 hours 15. It's very much become an engine for nostalgia and just fan service in a way that on first watch probably didn't stick out to me, but especially in our modern culture, it's really emblematic of that to me.
JC, do you feel like if you asked AI to make you a movie, would it be more Hallmark movie or more Saw movie? Like, would it be like...
If I asked straight up, just like, hey, give me a movie.
Would it be like very much like, I would say Hallmark movies like are always like, there's 2 people and it's Christmas for some fucking reason. And they're gonna fall in love. It's like that, it's always a fucking happy ending. Or Saw movies where it's like, this is fucking torture porn. And like, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I don't want to know what's gonna happen next.
I mean, maybe it's just the topic at hand, but I feel like if I asked ChatGPT to make me a movie, it would probably become something like a Fast and Furious, where it's like, oh, hey, here's generic action scenes, here's generic protagonist who's gonna have to fight generic bad guy whose motivations don't really care, and the bad guy's major end goal, it's a bad thing. Don't let it happen. All right, just a lot of, especially the later movies where it's just so so over the top, but in a way that I've mentioned before, like it's unrelatable to the average person, where it's the human element is just gone from these movies already. So what's AI going to do any different?
I've often told Tyler that most quotable movie in my vernacular is Jurassic Park. And I don't know if it's because right behind my head is the Lego T-Rex, but I keep hearing what you're mentioning, JC, and in my head I keep hearing T-Rex doesn't want to be fed; he wants to hunt. Like you don't want. It's like, here's what you want. Yeah, I'll take it. That's definitely what I'm enjoying. But it's like it's the thrill of chasing it, of like enjoying it because you know it was earned, of the appreciation of the hard work that goes into it. I think that's kind of something that I agree is lost on. Here's this movie and the rise and that was really good, and then like it drops just enough where you're not thinking about it to like, here's another one. Oh, I remember the high of the last time I did this, and the endorphins, and yeah, and like seeing it back to back to back to back, those little continuity errors, or seeing that high at such a high level, you just get burned out, and it loses a little bit, I think, of that shine being fed in this metaphor versus like, oh yeah, that was so cool. I can't believe they did that, and wow, how did they pull that off? It's definitely dated a little bit too, but I think that's something that gets lost from when I remember watching it originally.
I think that, I mean, this isn't a new issue, right? That was one of the main premises in the Matrix, is we gave you everything you wanted and you humans couldn't accept it because it's not, everything that we want isn't everything that we want, because hey guys, for some reason we're complicated creatures. Would I love to be some mindless animal herd doing whatever it is that they're doing? Sure, that sounds like a fun time. And unfortunately, I was cursed with a brain, and that's just how it works.
Yep.
I did enjoy these movies overall. Like, I'm glad to have watched them. It's kind of cool and enjoyable. But yeah, like you said, honestly, I love the reference for Jurassic Park because I think that's great. It's true. Like, it's not that it's bad for how you did it, but it's not exactly what could have been done with it. Still enjoyed it. Still love making references about it.
It does make you wonder the anti-historical here of what could the Fast and Furious franchise have been, and would that have stuck with a audience to the extent that these ones have?
Like, had they just continued like mini anthologies of like, oh, this one's about Miami drug lord, this one's about Tokyo, like
exactly.
I would have found it more interesting potentially, but because so far it was like 1 was meh, 2 didn't like, but 3 really enjoyed, even standalone. So
yeah, there's not really a depth with these movies. It's just like the character compass lands on true north. Dom's going to be a meathead driver who's just like intimidating and brooding. It's like, oh, boom, true north. That's what we're always going to do is this. But there's no like depth to understand with what we've seen of him, more about who he is or why he is the way he is or what makes him tick.
Yeah, and I think I can't remember if it was straight up in the 7 podcast or the Lost episode, but we talked about how the characters just don't even have time to be characters in these later movies, where we're basically relying on the people that we already know them to be to continue as a straight line because they're busy doing set piece moment to moment for the rest of time. Yeah. Steven?
I would say my other addition here would be, I think that the movie might have been more impactful, and I hate to say it, it was forced on them with Paul Walker's death, but to make some of the actual main characters, not like the B, in Gary's parlance, the B main characters, but the actual A main characters, make them fallible and make them either leave or die. I'm speaking specifically of Dom, who, as we all note, was the boat anchor. and I think that if you had removed Dom from the picture, and he could have been removed in a cool way, maybe he goes down fighting Deckard Shaw in a really cool battle and, ends up gone.
That was literally the ending until Letty says like, "Hey, I've remembered for a while," and then he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'm a tough guy, but coming back."
Tyler?
My overall thoughts on the film franchise and stuff like that is I think they are great popcorn flick movies where you go in there and you're going to have a good time watching these movies here. When you stop there and start letting your brain analyze it a little bit more, like the simple facts of like the agency that Hobbs worked for is like they don't do this, or their extradition is not a thing like they're presenting in the movies. Yes, you can start picking and poking apart these movies like you wouldn't believe, but that's kind of what the purpose of dumb popcorn flicks are, though. But for a series, though, as the whole, the through line and stuff like that, and I think we touched on this, JC, a little bit in the lost episode there of like the reason we stopped with 7, because in my point, 7 is the perfect stopping point for the series. Like the series should have stopped with 7 there because they had the perfect thing of they lost one of the actors in an unfortunate incident there. They put out a movie that ended up being better than what it probably any given reason that it should have been, basically because of all the stuff surrounding it. They put out an actual good movie and everything. But then the problem then going forward, and without like spoiling anything kind of going forward, is just a lot of the stuff that happens in these first 7 movies gets undone with stuff going forward then. So then you kind of wrap this back around and like, well, is this really meaningful anymore? Is this really meaningful anymore? Did this need to happen here if it's just going to be undone at a later point in time in the series there? So I still
Created Ouroboros of the movie.
Sure. Overall, I still enjoy the series and everything like that. I just wish some of the stuff would have been handled a little bit differently, or wish some stuff would have changed or whatever and everything like that.
I have a question to that response, Tyler. I agree with you. I'll say this first and foremost. I agree with you. Devil's advocate, do you think the story ended well because of how 7 was finally portrayed? Or do you think 7 is a good stopping point because Paul Walker died? Or to anybody who wants to answer that.
So
Is 8 different because they evolved the show again?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting after. Like,
So,
is it
yes.
like, oh, it would have been better if everybody had lived? Like, is it an obvious choice? Keep doing 8 because we're just feeding them and audiences are loving this. This thing's making money. Keep it going with 8. Or was 7 a legit good spot to end it?
I think so. It's kind of hard to theorize in this sense because we don't know what 7 truly could have been had he lived. But it feels like the series has a hole in it from a perspective that a Paul Walker character could have filled for the whole, or added more to the overall story there. It feels like there is some... Okay, again, I'm trying not to really spoil anything, but it's kind of obvious here as these movies were going on that Vin Diesel is taking a larger role in everything behind the scenes, and Dom is becoming a larger character in the series. Had there been a Paul Walker character, I think, going forward, that could have balanced out some of the problems that I start having then with the later series, because then they really, really start focusing on Dom, because he's the last surviving main character, essentially.
Yeah, I think as they get through with their giant set pieces and they continue to ramp up, like the set piece exhaustion, I guess, malaise that sets in by the time that rolls in from 6 and 7, I think the series is not changing from that trajectory. So in that sense, I don't think it was destined to change much in the series in terms of budget still going up, quality staying the same, if not declining. But it's very much, yeah, I could see the reason, like as Shatsi mentioned, the way that the Brian serves as a foil to Dom's Superman tendencies could potentially have been a thing. I'm trying to think of specifically if there was any moments in 6 where it was clear that Dom was just wildly overpowered while Brian was still around. But at the moment, coming up empty.
Did you have something, Gary? Otherwise, I was going to add something there.
Oh, I just remember like there's a movie that comes after 7 where plot Dom does some things that are unexpected, but then the explanation for why Dom does things that are unexpected is provided, and I was like, oh well, that's a reason, but like it's not great.
Mm-hmm. I was going to mention something to what Steven had commented earlier about, JC too, like how Dom is seemingly invincible. Some of these characters don't die. There's a strong bit that I'd forgotten at the end of 7 there, where Dom needs to be like revived and resuscitated because it's like the thought is he's going to die. And, would this movie have, Shotzi had to take his dog out, so he's not here right now, but would this movie have been a good stopping point for the series if, say, Dom had written himself off and died at the end of that movie, and at the end we see, like, on the beach scene at the end, Brian with Mia, and like they have a sweet like look out over the waves or something like that, and like, we'll miss you, Dom, take care, or whatever, and like the movie ends there, right? And so like maybe if Paul Walker had actually died and they filmed that ending to the scene instead, or if Paul Walker had lived and that's just whatever, that's the way they had cut it and ended it, is that then a good spot to stop it? Because regardless of who passed or who's no longer able to be the foil, was JC's word, is that a good stopping point then if the movie had ended with one of them passing? Trying not to spoil what happens again in the following movies, but yeah, having this sort of closing of a chapter, I thought would be just struck me as interesting since we're talking about
I think you have two mainstays. I think you have two mainstays. It's Dom and it's Brian, and you're right that they do act kind of a foil to each other. And if you get rid of one half of the foil, you have to get rid of the other half of the foil. So I think that would have made sense. That would have been poetic, or to some extent like that. I also think it wouldn't be an issue if you had written it more of an anthology sort of way. Like, you could, in that way, even get rid of the characters and still have your popcorn flick movie, whatever you wanted it to be. Like, like you hitched your ride to these specific actors, and I think that's the issue, is that you hitched your ride. The only way you can get your ride off is by putting the horses out to pasture. Right.
You stifle it
by using a harpoon.
You stifle it. He even did the hand signal, Gary. You missed it.
He did.
Right.
You stifle it by just like, oh, well,
Gary
of course
needs
they're alive.
It looks like.
Yeah, Gary's crashing.
He's hitting that drop here.
Is it empty? What are we doing here?
No, it's I haven't finished it.
You should chug it all right now.
Enhanced mental focus.
You were clearly sponsorship for us, Gary. Come on, man. Dig deep. Rally.
Yeah. Vroom vroom.
Vroom, yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think that there's oh gosh, what I had it and I lost it. There's
sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Oh, it's getting late. There was thought about. Oh, frick it, I lost it. Go ahead, Jason.
I was gonna say it's almost a bit of a cake and eating it situation, where a catch-22 almost, where like, oh, these are just dumb popcorn flicks, turn off your brain, and oh, it would have been such a perfect thematic ending to wrap this up. And here, like, it's either just dumb popcorn and it doesn't matter who's running the show and who your characters actually are, or it's this grand theme story about this family of specifically these characters. I think you can't have both, in a sense, where to Steven's point too, even if they didn't turn it to an anthology right after 3 and they came back to these cast of characters and built them up and built the series around them, yeah, after 7, move on to some new things. You can still do the Fast and Furious spin-offs, which they end up doing somewhat with The Rock's character and Shaw later. But you could have those sort of anthology moments where it's a new group of street racers, a new group of whatever people from Dom's old neighborhood, something like that. And then like you have all these other characters that you built up throughout 7 movies that you can then say, hey, Roman Pierce shows up and Tej shows up and does some cool things with these newer cast members, and they get to have their moments through that. Like, yeah. Backseat Hollywood organizing here, but yeah, I can see that being a more successful path than what I think happens.
Mm-hmm.
Was he like taking his dog out? Like, yeah, it's taking a while.
Taking his dog out,
Oh
guys.
my
Taking his
gosh.
dog out.
Oh my gosh.
Almost
Any
gonna be a
other
while.
thoughts or
I'm
Oh,
trying to
amazing.
trying to stall a little bit too,
Yeah,
since
yeah.
Mr. Host here is the one who has to wrap us, and he's AFK at the moment. I don't remember the original thought I had in my head, but it was something along the lines of
Speak of the devil
Various.
himself.
something along my lines of
Vroom
like-
Vroom is back! Woo woo!
Oh gosh.
That's what Gary is missing. That's why he was so tired. Tyler wasn't here.
The stifling, yeah, of the characters just always coming back. I mean, people came back and saw 5 knowing Letty was gone. And still, like, you know, I'll still watch it if the same people aren't there, but it helps give background or deeper a deeper character growth to the main characters, but then bringing them back and shoehorning everybody's invincible just throws it off. So that's all. We are pretty much done.
Did we still keep talking there while
Yes.
To an extent, yeah.
Maybe
just so the audience knows, I stepped
2-ish
away to
minutes.
take my dog out there.
Take
What
your
are
And
your
we
dog.
final
gave
thoughts
him-
on the series, Tyler.
I already gave my final thoughts on the series, Gary.
Oh, okay. I forgot. You've been gone so long.
Well, also
maybe
too,
you've
and
generated some new thoughts. I don't know.
so the audience knows, we're running into issues too with Discord acting up tonight there. So I was acting up when I came back from letting my dog outside there, so I wasn't for sure what was still going on.
Sure.
Mm.
Likely story.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, sure, that makes sense.
No. I wanted to explain what was going on my end too there.
Sure.
It's
That's
true.
right.
Tyler's a horrible host and a horrible human being.
So we
I will,
believe your
I will
lies.
take that honor.
Listener, you should know.
Yes. And again, when I work on my mute Steven edit there for the podcast.
Hey, I held myself back. We tied. I died a little bit on inside, and I didn't yell on audibly.
hasn't-
I put my
hasn't.
I
That's
might.
what tying to the Cowboys does to someone.
Oh my god. Oh.
All
Right.
right. So I
We'll go back through and read all our comment about all the information going on in this recording.
well, that covers it then. We're good here. Take it to the ending.
I think so.
All right. So that'll kind of basically do it for us listeners as far as this wrap up episode goes here. We do have an idea in mind for what we're going to do with our next season of podcasting here. We're not going to fully announce it here. We'll kind of probably save that more for episode 0. Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. DC held something up and I didn't see it.
That's, the Evangelion
you would-
rebuild movies. Yeah.
You wouldn't like it anyways,
Oh,
Gary.
No.
But yeah, we will come back with our season 4 episode 0 to kind of fully go into depth of what we're doing, but it is going to involve watching another set of movies here. So be ready, on the lookout for that. Yeah, so then that'll do it for us here at the Rewatch Podcast. We want to thank the listener for listening in. And until
Nos.
next time, have a good one. And remember, drink that Nos. Vroom, vroom.
Like,
Yeah,
Vroom.
vroom the nos, vroom vroom. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Up next, question 5. Gary's quick fire round, presented by Nos.
Nos. It tastes pineapple-y and good, and it makes me go vroom vroom.